What's up, YouTube? How are we doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good whatever, wherever you are. God, what a weekend it was. What an absolute banger of a weekend that we had in sports. MLB opening weekend started. College baseball was insane this week. March Madness has been going crazy. And then what we're going to talk about right now, what we're opening this week off with, is the final push to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Teams are knocking on the doorstep that we were like, whoa, didn't think they'd be here, but look out. Teams who we thought would be there or be close are nowhere near. And then there are dumpster fires. And then there's the St. Louis Blues for chance, who continue to take him on this roller coaster ride of emotions.
Yeah, we're only 4 points out now.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden he goes from, yes, this team stinks finally. Yes, the trade deadline happens. We are so dialed because now we're going to fight for a high draft pick. This draft is pretty loaded, at least in the first round, or the high first rounders.
The top three.
Yeah,
the top three.
So we have a good chance of potentially getting a top 3, top 5 pick. But you never know who you can find in a draft that has some studs in it. And then they come out of the break and out of the trade deadline, and y'all look fuego.
Yeah, 11-1-2.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden Chance has to go from, yay, we're sucking, to now, oh okay, we're going to be good again. All right, fuck it. Let's push for a playoff. At least make this worthwhile. So I guess we'll start there, because I'm sure you have emotions running through your head right now about what has gone on with your St. Louis Blues, because I feel like they've done it to you again.
I mean, we are the greatest team ever assembled in the month of March. I don't. This happened last year too. If we could ever, start out hot and continue the month of March that we seem to have these past 2 years, we're the greatest team since sliced bread.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think they'll get in. I mean, yeah, it'd be cool to see him get in. You'll get the second wild card spot, and you're just gonna get fed to Colorado. So really, what's the point?
Yeah. I mean, you almost did it to Winnipeg a year ago. You got fed to a great Winnipeg team, and you almost did it a year. You were 3.5 seconds away from doing it a year ago. So I'm not saying Colorado's Winnipeg of a year ago, but the recent course of actions doesn't necessarily have Colorado being, Colorado. Now, this is a different year, and they are off to an absolute... They are tearing it up this year, obviously. 100 and... Where are they at now? 106 points. And I think they play later today. No, they don't. Okay. So 106 points. They clinched a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks. So, you know what I mean? I understand where you're coming from, though, because it's fuck, this Colorado team is fucking good. And they are in your division, so you have had to play them a few times. And I think
it hasn't been pretty.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you play them 1 or 2 more times.
We play them to end the year.
Yeah, you play them to end the year. So, if that's a game for you to get in, that's a tough place to be. That is a tough spot to be. But I'm sure part of you kind of has to be upset at this, though. Because you've wanted them to suck for a while, for a good reason. The St. Louis Blues have been a franchise that kind of has needed that step back in order to take that step forward again and start competing for Stanley Cups again. And every time it seems like they're about to, they come off of some whatever break, trade deadline, coaching decision, whatever they come off of, and they just go on this massive heater. Last year was 16 in a row after the Four Nations.
Yeah.
This year, it's
This year's team, though, this would be more impressive making it than it was last year. And even up to that 2019 team making it and then going all the way.
right.
Just with the talent that they have, the only bright spot of this March, it's the young guys. It's Holloway, it's Thomas, it's Broberg, it's Hofer and net. Snuggerud, the rookie, Dvorsky's played well. Lindenson's played well in the back end. So it's all the young guys that we've accumulated these past 3 years that are taking a jump. I mean, Dvorsky is technically still a rookie, played a little last year. Snuggerud played the playoffs, but is still considered a rookie this year.
Right.
So you're seeing it from all the young guys. That's what we wanted to see this year. Especially after the deadline, you want to see these young guys step up and take on a bigger role.
Right.
And they have been in this month of March. So it's exciting in that fact of this is what could be.
Yeah. This is what next year could look like.
And then the draft this year, you have 3 first-round picks. So you have a lot of maneuvering you could do at the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You might want, if you want to trade one of those first-rounders away and get an NHL-ready type player.
Yeah. I mean, because you
have tons of options, and with the cap too, you got rid of some of the bigger contracts at the deadline. And Justin Falk, I know Braden Shin wasn't making a ton, but still off the books.
Right.
So there's a lot of, and Bennington is a free agent this year. I doubt they re-sign him, depending on if the number's right.
Shit, the way it's going, he might go to Columbus.
And you could probably use him at the draft and see if you could get something for him.
Right. Absolutely.
There's still something out there.
Yeah. So, yeah, and like you said, they don't necessarily need to use all 3 of those picks to draft players. You can use those 3 picks because one of those picks is going to be a decent pick, regardless of what happens.
10 to 15.
Right.
I'd have to, and then with Detroit's fall off in the month of March. I mean, you could be looking at 2 top 15 picks.
Yeah. So if you're looking at other teams, like if you're looking at this team right now, obviously you probably need another goalie. If you're not going to re-sign Bennington, you're going to need a guy in net who is like, I can ride this man through a 7-game series, because the Blues will be back in the playoffs at some point. We know this. If not this year, they'll be back at some point.
I'd say it's a 3 to 4 year window.
Right. So in that 3 to 4 year window, you're going to need your guy in net that hey, brick wall, I know this guy is my guy in net in a Game 7 situation, right? You need that. But if you feel that, I guess what we could call the skill positions, even though goalie is a pretty big skill to have, if you're confident in what you have with this young group, and you can go in free agency, get a depth piece here, piece there, a little something here, a little something there, something that doesn't really affect your cap, you could probably go and get a guy, right? That is he's a little bit more expensive, but he's got time left.
If you got 2 first-round picks this year, and you see somebody that,
towards the end of a contract?
Not to say anything, but, Austin Matthews does not want to play in Toronto anymore.
Right. So it's like you have.
I mean, I throw the 3 first-rounders in there, and I'll see what happens.
Why not? I mean, that is a.
Go over and suck their dicks if you like them so much.
Hi, Jason.
I would.
For Austin Matthews, I think he would. Yeah.
I'd swallow.
Oh, Lord. But for like a disgruntled player who doesn't necessarily like his situation, or a guy coming up on his contract where everyone kind of has that feeling he's probably not going to re-sign where he currently is, if you can...
McDavid.
Right. Not saying he could go to St. Louis, but a situation like that, right? Where it's like, hey, if I go here, there's a future of winning on the horizon for this organization, for this team. and they have the cap space to pay me what I feel I deserve to be paid, that could be an option for St. Louis. You don't necessarily just have to go out and draft guys. This is the maneuverability that you have with 3 first-round picks. And like you said, Chance, Detroit has been on a very bad downslide.
It's the month of March for them. They suck in the month of March. It's the complete opposite.
Yeah. And if this trend continues for the next, how many games have they played? 73 games. So that would be what? 9 games? 8 games?
9. There's 9 left.
9 games. Like you said, you can end up with a top 15, top 20 pick. 2 of them.
We'll definitely have 2 top 20 picks.
Right.
Most likely 2 top 15s.
Right. So.
And then we have Colorado's first round pick this year from the Islanders, which that could be 32.
Mm-hmm. And I don't.
Where they get knocked out first round and, it's 16.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if necessarily you got. Could there be a line of too aggressive with the draft picks in this scenario? Or is it.
Definitely can be.
Definitely can be. Because I feel like with all of those draft picks and all the maneuverability, and you guys, I think, have a pretty decent cap size. Like.
Yeah.
You have, I think, a lot more leeway than some other teams. I don't know. The lights are bright in St. Louis of what the offseason is going to look like, regardless of what happens going forward, because you guys have so many options to just get so much better and to potentially fleece somebody, of a star player or a caliber player that can help you flip the switch and get back to competing for cups again. Who knows? There's another guy on this podcast whose team is eyeing down a playoff spot. They are holding the second current wild card right now at 87 points. Jason,
we're beating Boston 3-0 right now.
Oh yeah, beating the team that's ahead of you in the wild card 3-0. Let's put that in perspective.
We'll come back up into 3rd in the division because Pittsburgh doesn't play tonight.
Right. So they will be right. So they will fall into that second wild card spot. Eastern Conference is insane right now. I think
every team in that's like in the fight right now would lead the fucking Pacific.
Yeah.
So
they would be tied with Edmonton for second. Anaheim at 86 right now. But yeah, the Eastern Conference is insane. Specifically, I think the Metro is nuts. Carolina's pulled away. They're gone. I don't think unless they lose every single game in regulation, I don't think they're good. They're dialed. Same thing with Tampa Bay, Buffalo. The top 3 in the Atlantic, though, looks pretty spicy. Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Montreal, within 6 points of each other. Buffalo has 2 more games than Tampa Bay and Montreal. Chance, who does that favor in this scenario?
I'm still gonna. I think Tampa's gonna win that division.
Okay.
Especially with 2 games in hand. I think it's gonna be Montreal and Buffalo could flip flop, but the way Buffalo's playing, they're playing really well.
Yeah, who saw
Same with Montreal,
Buffalo?
so
Who saw Buffalo leading the Atlantic at the beginning of the year? Who saw that coming?
I mean, nobody.
They avoided the historic collapse. That's what's helped.
well, they haven't gotten to the playoffs yet.
Nah.
Once Buffalo, like right now, if we stayed in the second wild card spot, we'd play Buffalo. I'd much rather play Buffalo than Pittsburgh.
Fair enough.
I think I'd want it the other way around.
No, because we got lucky the year we beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs. I don't think we would beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs, although Crosby has been dealing with ailments since the Olympics,
Yeah.
but I mean, Skinner's been there and done that. So I think I'd rather play goalies that haven't been there and done that, and that leads me to Buffalo over Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, like Jason said, Buffalo hasn't necessarily been here and been this good. So
Yeah, because
I mean,
every year
Buffalo-
they're close, they have that collapse.
Yeah, Buffalo and Toronto kind of have that same luck. Even if they make it, they usually don't last long.
Yep. But if you're Buffalo, you don't know what you don't know. Right? That is the kind of flip side for these teams who haven't been here. Is you don't know what you don't know. So, fuck it, who cares? Let's go, you know? And that could put them on a run. I think that's why they're also sitting here at 98 points. You know? But, I mean, ups to Buffalo. Did not see this coming. But how are we feeling about your team, Jason? 3-0 on Boston right now. Wild card run. At the beginning of the season, we all said look out.
They needed to beat San Jose last night. You couldn't have lost that game. You're still in the hunt for it. They've got, I believe, and Chance, correct me if I'm wrong, they have the toughest remaining strength of schedule in the NHL.
Well, let's see. You got Carolina next. Carolina again.
We still got to play Montreal again.
Still got to play Boston. Still got to play Buffalo.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think we play a team outside of the playoff hunt the rest of the way.
well, you play the Jets and the Capitals.
But that's it. So 2 out of our remaining 9.
Hey, we're still technically in the hunt.
No, you aren't.
You play Winnipeg, you still probably got to play against Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah.
So really, is that much different than playing one of these playoff teams?
If he
It's
plays
not
like he
his
did in
fault.
the gold medal game, then no. No, it isn't.
I mean, we played Washington the last game of the year, which very well could be Ovi's last game ever. So I don't like that matchup there.
And could potentially be for. I'm not saying we're going to. We are only 4 points out of wild card right now. About to be 5. But you never know what could happen with 8 games with 8 games left. So it could be for potential to get in for either team or both teams there, Jason. So, and like you said, potentially Ovi's last game at home.
I don't see Washington getting in. The teams ahead of them
I don't
now
either.
are playing good.
Yeah.
The only team that I can see that can sneak in out of the East is Ottawa. Like a team that's outside looking in.
They
That's
are
the
that
team
close.
that I'd be worried about playing.
Yep. Yeah, because they're also
but
right there.
Can we talk about just as an overall perspective? Because I said this to Bobby, and I said even if I wasn't a Blue Jackets fan, I know the numbers a little bit more, but what Rick Bowness has done coming into Columbus is just absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect us to be in the playoff hunt after firing our coach partway through the year.
No, you expect the lottery at that point.
That bad, though, too.
What'd you say, Bobby?
The last coach was that bad.
Yeah. But, I mean, you've seen a drastic change in just the way the team plays. Like, I can just tell there's a lot more confidence with Bowness than there was with Edison.
Bonus seems like he lets the guys do what they're good at and doesn't try to get them to play under one concept.
Yeah. And what I've seen, the only places that he really wants them to do what he says is on defense, which is perfectly fine because our defense, we have Zach Werenski's an offensive forward. We've got a few defensive guys that have been pretty good, but the wingers were playing terrible defense, and I mean, up until last night, we hadn't given up more than 30 shots on goal since Bowness took over. I mean, and the goaltenders have really picked it up too. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Elvis, but he's been playing his balls off since Bonus took over.
He probably heard all the trade him chants, and maybe he's like, oh shit, maybe I need to get it together.
That or his performance against the U.S. in the Olympics really was kind of that fire that needed lit. I mean, you get pulled partway through that game, that's not a good look on the national stage.
Not at all.
Granted, he had no defense in front of him, but
So what do we think is going kind of a, I don't want to say bold takes, but what are some things you all kind of expect going forward? Bobby, I'll start with you. Your Pittsburgh Penguins. Sidney Crosby has been going through it since the Olympics, but you guys have you've been holding firm for the most part.
I'll be honest, I think he rushed himself back a little too quick.
Right.
Because there was a video of him today skating at practice. He was jumping up and down, moving with ease. So I think he's going to be good to go, but I'd like to see him sit a little bit.
But you know he's not going to want to because you guys are.
I don't think you can afford to sit him.
No,
yeah.
You need that.
You need as many points as possible at this point, especially with what Ottawa's doing down the stretch.
It did help we beat Ottawa last week.
Yeah,
and it almost seems like, too, like Malkin at times only seems like he's out there to see how hard he can just hit dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Chance said,
I wouldn't be upset if Malkin was the odd man out that didn't get brought back. Actually, ideally, I'd rather see Letang be the one that doesn't come back. But I mean, you just got to stay above water.
Yeah, I mean, just find your way in and see what happens.
Let's either win in regulation or go to overtime and keep racking up points.
Yeah, just take points any way you can get them.
I want to say we lead the NHL in points, overtime points, because of how many times we've been to overtime.
You do have 16 overtime losses, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, so you cut that in half, you're leading the Metro.
Yeah.
If you win 8 of those, you're leading the Metro. If not leading, you have a stronghold on second place.
Yeah, you're right next to Carolina.
You could almost say the same thing about Columbus if you cut out all those third period collapses early in the year.
Yep. Also with 11 OTLs, but that's not including the ones you've gone to overtime and ended up winning. But like you said, the collapses and things of that nature.
And it doesn't help the Penguins are, I think, 3 and 12 in shootouts this year.
Yeah, not good, brother. I mean, shit, if you take out
at this point, you guys are hoping for regulation endings from the teams around you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why tonight, like the Columbus-Boston game, like you're not necessarily rooting for a certain team. It's more just somebody winning regulation.
Yep.
You can't afford both teams to get points. I mean, because I'm kind of in the same boat with a lot of games.
Yeah, like just regulation games.
Yeah, like the game you guys played against Boston, I think it was Boston that went to overtime. I didn't care who won that game. Just somebody needed to win it in regulation. And, of course, you guys had to go to fucking overtime.
No, typically, though, in overtime with the Penguins, if they don't score in the first minute, they're not going to win.
That's because Sidney comes off the ice by then.
Yeah. Well, he'll go back out, but if it goes to a shootout, we're fucked. It's that easy.
So if you're Pittsburgh right now, does this kind of put more urgency behind a deep playoff run where you guys are sitting right now to get in and to have a deep playoff run? Because, well, I'm not saying Crosby's done after this year or next, but he's not exactly a young guy anymore.
No.
He has more NHL games behind him than in front of him.
Well,
But
no
Billy,
shit.
look at what they were able to do when he has been off the ice this year.
It's very true.
You look at
He
the number
actually
of
had-
games that Crosby has missed, and you would think that this Penguins team should realistically probably be out of a playoff spot, out of the hunt.
Yeah.
But
This
the
is
young
one
guy
of the deeper
stepped up.
teams we've had.
Yeah.
In the past couple years.
And
Yeah.
it bodes
I mean, it
well
helps.
for,
Anthony
You know,
Mantha has 29 goals.
yeah.
Like, the guys we brought in the offseason have performed, and it's made this team deeper. Like, it's
But
not
you also
Crosby
look at it-
runs off the ice. We're fine. No, not this year.
You look at it past Crosby too. Like, if he does decide to hang it up, it's not like you're going to be starting from scratch where the one guy that did anything for you guys is done. Like, there's still pieces there that you can build around.
Oh, yeah. I think Ben Kindle's going to be a star in a couple years.
Yeah.
I mean, Bobby, at the beginning of the year, you were talking about Pittsburgh trying to go and get Gavin McKenna.
That's because I didn't have that much faith in. I'll be honest, I didn't know what the new coach was going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And Muse has let the guys play their games. I mean, Jason, you can attest to this. The forecheck this year has been insane.
Yeah, I think
Just how much the Penguins
games
are grinding out pucks.
the games that our two teams played against each other, obviously they split 2-2. They were overtime or shootout. Like,
They were good hockey games, though.
they
They
were.
were entertaining games.
Have we been able to say that all four games between the Blue Jackets and Penguins were really good hockey games,
Usually not a whole lot.
right? Like, you maybe get one or two throughout the year, but for all four to be extra time games
Mm-hmm.
is just insane with the way that those two teams were playing. I mean, yeah, we probably could have won 2 or maybe 3 of those in regulation if we just didn't fucking collapse in the third. But
Yeah.
we'll say your guys' defense all around was much better this year too.
Yeah, they actually played defense this year.
I think it's because they have a goalie in net that they actually like now.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That'll do something.
Yeah, Jari was brutal. I definitely think we got the better end of that trade.
Why is this dude shirtless next to the crosswalk with his dog not on a leash?
Oh,
Oh, he had shoes on either. And both him and his dog are full of mud.
maybe they were off ripping.
Yeah.
Very lame.
Ohio stuff,
Champ.
brother.
Chance right now, if you had to look at it, if the playoffs started today with the teams in it, outside of Colorado, Dallas, Carolina, the typical teams that you would pick that are at the top of the standings, who would be the one team going into the playoffs that you realistically probably don't want to face?
Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
They've been there and done that a lot too. They're a team that knows what it takes.
If Boston were to get in, it's a hard place to go play.
Boston's very physical. They're going to wear you out.
I think Utah in the West is a team that I would not want to match up with first round.
Yeah, Utah's kind of a weird team. Like, they're just kind of coasting along in that spot, knowing they don't really have to do a whole lot right now. But they still are doing a decent amount to keep themselves in a favorable position.
Yeah, because right now they play Anaheim, and I'd probably pick Utah to beat them.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, what's Anaheim at now? 84 points?
86 right
86.
now. About
That'd
to
be the lowest of the play. That'd be, well, it wouldn't be the lowest because the second and third place teams in the frickin' Pacific. But
Yeah.
it'd be the lowest of a team winning their division, that's for sure. I mean, considering just about every other team, except for the ones in their division, would be leading their division.
And to Nashville in the second wild card spot right now. That's a very veteran team that's been there and done that. Between
Yeah,
Stamkos, Marchessault, O'Reilly, Saros.
I mean, the big thing
I mean-
with them is, do we see them go back to the way they were with this team? You look at the guys on the team and think, what are they doing?
I mean, I think they all had a pretty good coming to Jesus moment at the deadline because there was talk Stamkos was going to get dealt, O'Reilly was going to get dealt, Marchessault could have been dealt. Like, they're going to blow this thing up. And
I mean, because you
They've
look at
stuck
those
with
moves
it.
you made, Chance, they should have, realistically, a lot of people had them as a top team in the NHL.
yeah, last year
yeah, we all talked about
I
it.
think I picked them to win the Central.
Yeah, we all
I
talked
think I
about it
did too.
because they went on that tear a couple of years ago, and then they did all they did in the offseason, and we all went, well, that's a team in the West you need to worry about. They're gonna be right there, and then they,
And even this year they've underperformed.
yeah, even where they are right now, they, yeah, for the expectations that we had for them, absolutely.
Was right in the playoff hunt. And I mean, we all know how it is to go to Nashville.
Right.
It's tough to play in Nashville when they're good.
Nashville.
And if I had to pick one more team, especially in the East, I'd pick Montreal. The way that
Dude, they
team's
were a
playing
tough
right now, between Fowler and Dobish and net, you got Mr. Saturday Night and Cole Caulfield, who's probably going to get 50. Last year they got their first taste of it as a young team, and kind of a team that everybody can kind of pick to miss it this year. Like, they kind of rode the high last year. They got hot at the end. It made a run into the playoffs, squeaking in a wild card. And you wonder, can they sustain that over the 82 games? And they've done exceptionally well this year.
I mean, not only that, but anytime you got to go to a Canadian team when it comes to playoff hockey,
Especially Montreal.
They love their hockey.
Yeah, a place that just breathes hockey, and that's
Right.
all they care about.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, Chance, I think a lot of people would argue with you when they played Washington a year ago. They, in a lot of the games, probably played better than Washington did, but I think Logan Thompson was being Logan Thompson and saving the Capitals' ass. And it was Montreal's first time in, gosh, a little bit, you know,
Since COVID.
since COVID. So they hadn't really experienced that moment. Well, now they know that moment. They know what that place is going to be like. That's a
but
danger.
I think last year too, they kind of ran into a bad situation for them because we've seen now. I mean, the Capitals really didn't do a whole lot this offseason. It's majority of the same team back,
Right.
and you know,
They're not playing well.
no,
They haven't
So,
played well this year.
I think they were obviously riding the high with everything from Ovi. You know,
Right.
like Chance said at times last year, and I think this year is gone,
Right.
and they haven't been able to find a way to
Mhm.
bring that energy back to the game like
Right.
they had last year.
They're trying to find that next, I guess, culture switch in that organization. I mean, they're starting to get a little hot, which is nice, but and Hudson looks phenomenal. I love it. I love Hudson. He looks great out there. He's going to be a star. And then we're going to get Alexei's little brother at some point. That's going to be awesome. The Capitals are going to be
I
just
think we
fine.
can all, well,
Huh.
the three of us can all kind of agree that the Metro has some good young talent that's going to be good for years.
Everywhere. It's just, even on the bad teams, it's everywhere.
Yeah. Like,
Um,
I know for us, Kendall's I think he might, no, he's not, I don't think he's 19 yet. He's third now on the Penguins' most points under 19 years old.
and it didn't take him long to get there either. He's just been,
He's not probably won't get one or two
yeah.
because Ed and Yager had absurd years as rookies.
Yeah, those will be hard to beat. You're gonna have to go crazy.
And you have New York. You have Matthew Schaefer, gonna be a stud.
Absolute stud. But no, I like where we're
The
at.
only team you really look at is the Rangers.
Yeah, they got nothing left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
I
New
mean,
York?
You look at like a team like Carolina. They're always going to be good because they spend the money, but none of their guys are super old. Yeah, they're older, but you look at the rest of the division. I mean, the only team that may have a higher average age, and it's only because of three guys, and that's Crosby, Letang, and Malkin, is Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the rest of the teams are relatively young, and it's not saying that Pittsburgh is an old team, but when you've got three guys that have been around as long as those three have,
Yeah,
it
then
can
that makes the
rise up.
average go up.
Yeah. So,
And like I said, I love what we've done with Ovechkin. He's had a great career. Obviously breaking the record for all-time goals. It's been awesome. I do think the time has come to move on because we have so much talent. And yes, he has, I think, 28, 29 goals, 26, 27 assists, something like that. Right, he's close to another 30-30 season, which at his age, I think a lot of people would be lucky to ever do that in general in hockey. But it sometimes when he's out on the ice and he's just like he's on a Sunday skate with his buds, you know?
Yeah.
There's no-
Here's a stat on Ovechkin. He is the only forward in the NHL to not take a defensive zone draw.
no, he did. He did last night.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Friday he did.
Mm.
Or it might have been
Wow.
Thursday.
So he is no longer the only.
Yeah.
It was 793 consecutive games, I think.
Yeah.
It just,
Crosby's record
I mean-
for averaging a point a game might be
mhm.
done after this year.
Yeah, because, I mean, it used to be like, yeah, just set him out on the power play, but, I mean, Washington's power play has just been atrocious this year. From the jump, it's just been awful on both ends. It just hasn't been very good.
We're great at killing power plays. We just can't score on them.
We're not doing great on either, and we caused too many to be that bad. But it's about time. It's been a hell of a run, you know. You take your hat off, you standing ovation. Obviously, he's gonna get a statue outside Capital One. You know, the jersey's gonna get hung. Hall of Fame. I don't think anyone can argue that. But you look at Hudson, you look at Alexei Protas, Dylan Strome still has a ton of talent in him. You have Ryan Leonard. You have all of the studs in Hershey. And for those who don't keep up, Hershey Bears are kind of our minor league affiliate. All they really do is just win championships over there. Like, it's just what they do.
What year did they switch from being Edmonton's to Washington?
Oh, God. It wasn't that long ago.
McDavid played in Hershey.
Yeah. It might have been right after he came to the NHL. Might have been. But
I think he was probably only there a year,
Yeah.
if that.
So like you have all of this young talent, and I think Carlson was the first step of saying, "Hey, it's like we're trying to move on here." Um, I think if you move on from Ovechkin, you might start seeing some of this young talent shine through and up to that next level. Um, yeah, I hate when he goes out there because I want him to do so well and score goals because that's what he does. But damn, if it ain't him
He
scoring a
can't
goal,
move.
yeah,
No.
he's a liability. At certain
His whole
points.
career, he stood in one spot.
Yeah, it's a reason it's called Ovi's office. For a reason, can he score from other places? Yes. You don't just get the all-time goal record from standing in one spot. At some point, if that was the case, then holy shit, coaching just stinks. Because he sits in that one spot and he doesn't do anything else. All right. Final predictions. Chance, who's in, who's out?
I think it's set.
Other than the usuals.
The only team that could see getting in is Ottawa in the East, but I don't know who they're going to replace. I just don't see these teams slowing down ahead of them. In the West, I think it's set. The only team that I think could make it, outside looking in, is the Kings. They sit 1 point back of Nashville.
Yeah, Bobby, you want to talk about your 16 OTLs. LA has more than you at 18. They would be leading the Pacific if you cut that in half. And they're still 1 point out.
Yeah, but if those are cut in half and those are losses, you don't have 76 points.
That's also true. There is the
You're
opposite.
towards Vancouver.
Right. So there's that give and take. For sure. All right. Jason, what are your thoughts on the playoff picture?
God damn it. Now we're only winning 3-2. Fuck. Don't fucking do this to me.
Yeah, we did it against Vegas last night, buddy. We were up 3-0 going into the second period, and then holy shit, we almost blew it.
I mean, like Chance said, I think the only other team that I could see finding their way in would be Ottawa. Detroit has kind of hit that lull. But I could see somebody jumping Nashville, either Seattle or LA.
Okay. Anything in the East? Because your team is about to go through a gauntlet to try to get in.
I mean, we're going to have to see the East play out.
Mm-hmm.
Those two wild card spots and then the last two spots in the Metro have been bouncing around so much.
Yeah. And even if for some of these Metro teams who are looking in, if you don't think like a team like Washington or who's outside looking right now, Philly, New Jersey, Detroit, or Ottawa, if they don't get in, aren't looking to shatter your hearts, you don't know sports. I don't think if Pittsburgh's in a situation, right, Bobby? And I don't know if you guys, I think you play Washington one more time.
I don't know.
Let me look
but
here.
If 87's in the lineup, he's going to will the team into the playoffs.
Right. So we play the Flyers next. We need to beat them. Fuck them. Devils.
Yes.
Yeah, we play you back-to-back.
Oh.
We play you in Pittsburgh Saturday on the 11th. And, we get back-to-back, and they're both primetime on national televised games.
That's because that could be the last few times we see 8 and 87 go at it.
Yep, you play back-to-back. We play April 11th and 12th. Obviously, one in Pittsburgh, the other one in Washington. But
Well, feel like that's interesting because neither team's been good in back-to-backs
No,
this year.
no. Washington has been fucking miserable in back-to-backs.
Neither team has been good in back-to-backs.
Yeah, it's been horrid, and we have 2 of them to finish out the year. Oh my goodness, because we get the Sabres and the Rangers. All right, that's a little better, but still. If you don't think Washington isn't going to do everything they can to try to keep their rival Pittsburgh out of a postseason spot, you don't know sports. All right, and this is the same for all teams. They don't want you in the playoffs. Pittsburgh obviously is going
It kind
to
of ends the rivalry.
right.
I think Sid's gonna be like, "Fuck you, this is my time."
Bingo. And Pittsburgh's going to be doing the same. If Washington still has a little daylight of a playoff spot, Pittsburgh is going to want to end
So
that.
Husby's gonna want to bury.
Right.
He's gonna want to bury it.
So that just ups the ante just that much more. But that's across the board. That's not just Washington and Pittsburgh. That's Washington to Columbus. That's Columbus to Washington. That's Columbus to Pittsburgh. It's everybody to Boston because fuck Boston. Right? That's
No one likes them.
Yeah.
Well, I think now that Marchand's gone, I don't think people hate Boston as bad.
But still fuck Boston.
Yeah, as when Marchand was there, everyone hated Boston
Right.
due to him.
Right. And Chance, it does look like the 3-year the push for all those Stanley Cup finals and championships finally caught up to Florida.
Oh yeah, I mean,
It was bound to happen.
The same thing.
Yeah,
Back-to-back cups.
Yeah.
Ran out of gas in the playoffs the third year.
just to be in 3 straight finals alone. I mean,
It was going to happen.
yeah.
Wow, UConn just beat Duke.
No shit.
Women's
Oh.
women's game, I thought.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the women's game. I thought it was.
Nope.
UConn played Notre Dame women's team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
maybe
UConn
it
just
was
beat
the men.
Duke 73-72. Duke is
They
out.
hit a shot at the buzzer from 36 feet.
Damn.
Wow. And oh man, we'll get to it, but damn. Wow. All right. Well, do you guys have anything else hockey-wise? And we'll let these people enjoy the fine rest of your day.
No.
All good here. Jason, you good, buddy, on hockey?
Mm-hmm.
Bobby, you good, brother?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we are out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, night, morning, whatever the hell it is. Go do whatever it is you guys do on YouTube, the like, share the whole deal, whatever. I'm not a YouTuber. I just host a show that and put videos on the YouTube channel. That's Bobby.
YouTube videos.
Huh?
So I watch YouTube videos. but
I do
couldn't
that
tell
a
you anything
lot.
other than that.
I do
Yeah.
that a lot. Watch a ton of YouTube videos. I got Bobby right there. That's Jason in the corner.
Everything except this show because it sucks.
Damn, Jason. That's fucked up, brother.
Host is a fucking moron.
The host is an idiot. He needs a real job.
It's good that they employed an Oompa Loompa, though. You gotta help them out. They need some help.
Oh yeah.
We
I
are.
saw something the other day, Chance. It said, "I'm not short. I'm just tall for an Oompa Loompa."
Mm-hmm.
Damn straight.
Yep. Yep. See, we diversify on this show. We have a lot of diversity on this show.
Don't get Chance going on something like that.
That's
We
Chance
have no
below
DEI
me.
hires.
Well, we'll see y'all next week. Goodbye.